Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to my channel, The Baloch Scholar. So today I am going to start another topic of chapter number 2, class 9th, that is measuring instrument. Okay, measuring instrument. So as you know, physics is also based on measuring the instrument or measurement. Or physics is also defined as the science of measurement. Physics is defined the science of measurement. So there are some measuring instruments which measures the physical quantity. Physical quantity. What are physical quantities which can be measured? Such as length is there, can say mass is there, time is there. Such as if you want to measure the length of the carpet, so what will you use? You will be using a measuring tape to know the length of, can say, the carpet. Come towards the measuring instrument. Measuring instrument. A measuring instrument is a device used for measuring a physical quantity. I already told you. A measuring instrument is a device, which is a device used for measuring a physical quantity. What is physical quantity? Those quantities which can be measured. Okay. For suppose length is there, we can measure the length. For small length, we will use meter rule, and measuring tape we will use for measuring the length. Okay. As I told you, we will be discussing some of the measuring instrument present in your book. Okay. So the first one is meter rule. Meter rule. Okay. It is a length measuring instrument. It is a length measuring instrument. I already told you, used for small, you can say length. Meter rule is used in laboratory to measure small distance. We measure the small distance. We measure the small distance in the laboratory. Okay. Meter rule is used for, can say, measuring the small distance. Okay. For example, a scale is there. You want to measure this, can say, length of this paper, so you will be using a meter rule, small meter rule that can measure it and say okay. So it consists of 1 meter, that is equal to 100 centimeter. Okay, as you know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Okay, 100 centimeter. So means 1 meter is consists of, you can say, 100 centimeter. Or come towards its least count. What is the least count of, let's say, a meter rule? The least count of a meter rule is the minimum distance measured by a meter rule. Means what is the minimum distance that meter rule can measure? So meter rule can measure around, you can say, up to 1 millimeter. Okay, it is the minimum instrument that is measuring tape. Okay, it is also a length measuring instrument. As meter rule was also the length measuring instrument, measuring tape is also a length measuring instrument. Okay, as you know, measuring tape can say is a flexible, or you can say long or thin, made of metal, plastic or cloth. Okay, it can be made of metal, it can be made of plastic. It is used for measuring the length, such as carpenters use them. Okay, for measuring the carpets, measuring the length of a carpet. Or you can say you can measure the height of something. A measuring tape is widely used by carpenters for blacksmith. Okay, its least count is 1 millimeter. Okay, meter rule. So its least count is LC. You can say least count is 1 millimeter, like meter rule. Okay, now let's come towards one of the most important measuring instrument we will be discussing. That is vernier caliper. That is vernier caliper. Okay, as I told you, the least count of meter rule is 1 millimeter. So for counting the objects that are very small, around, you can say, so vernier caliper can measure around 0.1 millimeter. Mean this is the least count of vernier caliper. Vernier caliper is used to measure length of small objects, very small objects. Okay, length of small objects. For example, if I want to measure the cover of the pen, So I want to measure its diameter, or you can say internal or external diameter, or depth of it. For example, a test tube is there. I want to measure its depth or internal or external diameter. So I will be using vernier caliper. Okay. It is used to measure length of small objects. Also measures the internal external diameter or depth of the object. Okay. So it can measure the depth of the object. It can measure the internal or external diameter of the object. Now come towards its construction. Construction, there are two jaws present in the one vernier caliper. One is fixed and one is movable. Okay, one jaw is fixed and other jaw is movable. So in these also there are two scales. One is called main scale and the other is called vernier scale. Main scale and vernier scale. So main scale contains reading in centimeters. Means main scale provides you reading in centimeter. Readings are present in centimeter. So vernier scale contains 10 division. It contains 10 division. Which means each division is equal to 0.9 millimeter. 0.9 millimeter. Okay. So come towards its least count. I already told you the least count of vernier caliper is 0.1 millimeter. Okay, 0.1 millimeter. If you change it into centimeter, 0.01 centimeter it can be. Okay. Least count means, here the least count means distance between one main scale and one vernier scale is called the least count. Okay, now let's discuss, can say, least count mathematically. Mathematically, you can find out the least count type of an object by putting the smallest reading on main scale. What is the smallest reading on main scale? I already told you that reading should be in centimeter, or number of divisions on vernier scale. What is the number of division on vernier scale? That is 10. Okay. So smallest reading on main scale is 1 and number of divisions are 10. So it can be 0.1 millimeter is equal to, if you want to change it into centimeters, 0.01 centimeter. So it is 0.1 millimeter is also called vernier scale. It is also called least count. Okay.